Now, this is a must-have for any Sony ZV-E10 owner. What's up guys, this is Gabby from Ray Studios, and on this video I'm going to be taking a closer look at the Sony ZV-E10 cage from Smallrig. First, unboxing. Let's begin with the cage. Everything comes packed very nicely. There is even bubble wrap for the cage. As soon as you hold it in your hands, you realize how lightweight it is. There is also a couple of Allen wrenches and an extra screw to stabilize this cage into your camera. Not like you really need it. There is also included this tool that it will help you install the cage in your camera, and by the way, this tool is magnetic, so when you're done you can stick it to the bottom of the cage. Then we have the top handle, which was made for this camera. You can see it's tiny. And like all this is not enough, Smallrig also sent me a little gift. There is this filmmakers / photographers tool. It comes with a carrying case, and inside the carrying case, like that is not enough protection for a tool, they also have a carrying bag. Now this tool is extremely convenient when you are out there shooting, and I highly recommend it for anybody who is either a filmmaker or photographer. I've been using Sony cameras for quite a few years. So before the Sony ZV-E10 I have the Sony a6400, and before that I have the Sony a6300. Now the quality on these two aforementioned cameras, it was pretty good, mostly metal and the feel quite solid. Now the Sony ZV-E10 is not, it's mostly plastic, and it doesn't inspire that much confidence like the previous cameras that I own. So this cage becomes very highly recommended if you have a Sony ZV-E10. Now let's take a closer look at the cage. Let's take a look first at the bottom. We have a 1/4-20 mount that keeps the camera and the cage in place. We also have, like I mentioned before, this tool that will help you not only adjust the screw, but any other screw. So this is extremely useful. We have a few extra 1/4-20 here at the bottom, so you can very easily mount this cage in either a gimbal or a tripod. Now here on the side you can see that we have plenty of space to open the battery compartment, so you can easily access the SD card and the battery. Now you can see here there is a cutout. That's in case you need to use some batteries that are connected with a cable. So you can see here there is that special like trapdoor, I don't know how to call that, and then there is the cutout, so you can still use that with your cage on. Now to the side, this is the little screw that I talk about that will very securely mount this cage into your camera. Like I say, I don't think it's necessary, but for some people you might want to add that just in case. Now we have 3 more 1/4-20 mounts on the side. We have here the space to still use a strap, is that something that you like. We have the markings for the custom one button, and nothing really is blocked, so you can see how there are cutouts for the recording button and the shutter button. Now the reason I'm keeping this here is because once you put this cage, you can basically permanently keep this in here, so you don't need to worry about losing it. You can keep that windshield cover for the internal microphone all the time on, because now here at the top you have another cold room mount where you can mount your microphone. Now as you can see, I already mounted the mini top handle here, and the feeling to the touch is fantastic. It's rubber combined with metal, so it's very strong, and at the same time it gives a nice feeling. And as you can see, it's just perfect for this camera because it's just on the side of the camera, and even so I have very big hands, you can see that it's a very comfortable grip. Now here to the other side, again we have the space to put the strap. We have 3 1/4-20 mounts, and something that I would like to remark here is that this part of the cage is a little bit more forward than this part of the cage. You can see they're not on the same line up, so if you want to use side handles, those side handles are going to be slightly in different positions, so this one's going to be a little bit more forward, and that's because they give the space so you can easily rotate the screen. And all the ports are very easy to access. So that's basically it for the cage. So there are two more things I like to mention about this cage, one good, one bad. First is that this is Arca Swiss compatible, so you can directly mount the cage and your camera into a tripod head that is Arca Swiss, so you no longer need this. Now, the bad thing is that the hot shoe adapter in your camera is not accessible to most microphones or speedlights. That is a kind of like a small little flaw that I'm super happy to live with, because this camera is more for vlogging and video, so you're not going to be mounting speedlights, but I can see how for some people that use the new Sony wireless microphones that are actually truly wireless, so there is no connection to the mic, they basically use the connectors on the hot shoe, well, that could be a bit of a problem, so something to keep in mind. But so far, I would say this cage is absolutely amazing. It's really good, and one thing that is really fantastic is what they did with the rubber here on the top handle and on the side handle. So when you buy this cage, make sure to have this side handle, because that makes the grip on the camera just so much better and comfortable. It doesn't really add into the weight of the camera or the size, at least not so much. It still feels pretty small, but it feels incredibly comfortable. So that's it with this quick review for the Smallrig cage for the Sony ZV-E10. I hope you like it, and if you do, please don't forget to comment, like, share and subscribe. As usual, link in the description down below. I'm Gabby, and I'll catch you up on the next video.